Hey guys, welcome back to Beth's Naughty Reads. I'm Beth LaMontagne, and this is my first episode in a while. We went on a glorious vacation, and while I was on vacation, I decided to take a social media break. So I am back, and I am super excited to be with you guys again, and I'm totally stoked tonight as I get a little naughty with you guys as I tell you about L.J. Andrews' Night of Masks and Knives. Before we jump into the book, I want to give my usual friendly reminder to please go out and follow me on the socials. You can find me on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook under Beth's Naughty Reads. Please, while you're in here, also take a moment to thumbs up this episode and provide some feedback. And while you're at it, subscribe to my channel so that you get notified when new episodes are released. So today, we are talking about L.J. Andrews' Broken Kingdom series. LJ is a today best-selling author. She says she could live in a dark world with brutal romantic heroes all day. And when she isn't writing or reading, she's trying really hard to keep her 4 kids alive, as well as spending time with her super hot husband. So I love that. It's hard to keep kids alive, so I love that she's honest about that. So Night of Masks and Knives is book 4 of the Broken Kingdom series. As you guys remember, I reviewed book 1 through 3 several months back. That was Elise and Valen's story. This one is in the same series. It's just a new arc. I'll remind you that every 4th book in the series is a new kingdom and landscape, new characters and adventures. So let's talk a little bit about the book. So the Night of Masks and Knives is a romantasy about lost love, rebel versus corrupt leaders, and is a slow burn love story. It does take place in a land of magic, like most romantasies. You'll also notice that several characters from books 1, 2, and 3 will also resurface and play some large roles in this book as well. So the main female character's name is Malin Stom. Malin is an Alver, meaning she has magical gifts. She has the ability to steal memories from the dead or secrets from the living via breath or bone dust. She is referred to as a memory thief, so that's how they refer to her. That's how they refer to her magic as. Malin is resourceful, tough, and stubborn, and she's willing to cross any line, both physically and mentally, when her loved ones are in need. She has lost 2 very important men in her life. So she lost her childhood best friend, Kase, and her brother, Hagen. So tell you a little bit about Kase. Kase Erickson is also known as the Night Render. Kase is also an Alver with a dangerous and powerful... No, Kase. Thanks. I had it wrong on there. It's Kase. Kase, but thank you for confirming. Kase is also an Alver with a dangerous and powerful magic that involves fear. What he can do is he has the power over fear to use it either to like scare you into doing what he wants and or even kill you with it. So it is a pretty unique magic. His alter ego is the mysterious Night Render, who is a brutal criminal underground leader. As the Night Renderer, he uses the fear of those around him and can control, kind of like I said, or kill. He was taken during the Mask of Aske 10 years ago, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that here shortly. He has been changed by captivity, violence, and now he really feels like he can no longer give Marlene what she needs because he's too jaded now. When the story opens up, we learn that Malin is working deals. So she's scheming and stealing to try to get the secrets and last memories of people so that she can continue to, her hunt for Chase. But we also learn that her brother Hagen has been in the Halsey prison for the last 2 years. This was all because of a bad business deal. Thank goodness we can't really go to jail because of a bad business deal here unless they're illegal. But anyways, so we find out that he's finally being released and coming home. However, and this is the big part, due to his unique mesmer or magic, he is being traded at the Notorious Masquerade for the services to the King's son. So the Masquerade is this huge event that the royals put on every year to invite everybody from all levels so that they can partake in the goodness. And people will think he's a good and caring king. it's probably a great time to tell you that he's not a good caring king. He's really a huge a-hole, actually. And he likes to take specific mesmers, if you will, because he is worried that they will either try to overthrow him. So he captures them, he leashes their magic, and then he uses them in the service of his work needed. Marlene is determined. So she decides, or so she learns that her brother is being traded into this mask. So she decides she's going to get her brother back, and she's going to do this by breaking him out of this masquerade. She decides that she can't do this alone, and she enlists the help of the Guild of Crave, which is a group of thieves and rebels, and its cruel leader, the Night Renderer. As they work together to rescue her brother, also, before I forget, Malin also thinks that getting access to this masquerade will also help her get more information on Kase, which is another, like those are her two big things in life that she's trying to work on. As she works with the group, Marlene is shocked to discover that the Night Render may have a bigger role in her life than she realizes. I'm going to give you a couple excerpts. So this first one, I'm going to set up a little bit. This is a scene after Marlene has discovered that the Night Render is her childhood love, and she's returning some toys that she's had, some childhood mementos, if you will, that she's had of Kases since they were a kid. So she says, "These aren't mine. I don't want them." The Night Render says nothing. He didn't blink. Disappointment burned harsh and cruel in my heart. Why hope for anything more? Halfway to the staircase, the soft rasp of his deep voice sent a shiver down my spine. Why to let go of something that died long, long ago? Each word was like broken glass, shattering every surface of my body. I did not dignify him with a backwards glance, not even a word. I lifted my chin and left him to his darkness. Kase Erickson was dead after all. This next excerpt is when we start to finally get a little bit of romance. So this is the two of them, and this is the first time that they are finally allowing stuff to happen between them, or he's allowing stuff to happen between them. So Jay says, Marlene, as he tugged on her trousers, his fingers sliding beneath the waistline, "Everything I want is all that you are." Frenzy desired caused my hands to shake. I could not unfasten the damn pants. Pulling back, I lowered to my knees in front of her. Marlene hummed her satisfaction. The Night Render on his knees. I never knew such a thing of beauty existed. I rolled my eyes at her, grinning a little wickedly as I finally succeeded in the clasp. I pressed a kiss to her stomach, the bones of her hips, and said to her, "I only bow to you." So I'm going to give you guys a couple of reviews. Bear with me as I take my glasses off. All right. So this one is called Lovely Afterthought. Andrew strikes again. Sorry, my phone's being difficult. LJ Andrews pulls you in with every story and rarely lets us come up for air. The story had me shocked from the first page and desperate to immediately get the next book after the last page. Humor, emotion, trauma, family found, and a love story that you think you have figured out until you don't. I loved everything about the book. Unsurprising since I love everything she writes, but I must run now. The next book is calling my name. The next one is from is called Holy God. I'm so mad at myself for not reading this book sooner. The emotions I felt throughout this book was beautiful and torturous. The connection from childhood and the never-ending fight these two had for one another all these years was just beautiful. LJ Andrews can do no wrong in my eyes, and I can't get enough of her characters. Let's see. The last one is called by Twigs. It's called Riveting Read. Many twists and turns to keep you wanting more. Great characters with detailed backstories, crossing paths, and familiar characters from previous books. Book 5, here I come. So those are just a few of the thoughts from other people that have read the book. I will tell you that this is definitely a slow burn. The first book doesn't have a lot of heat in it. There's a little bit that picks up in book 5 and 6, but it is, I rated it a 2 jalapeno. There's the idea of stuff behind them, but there isn't a lot of action in the first book. And so I want to make sure I go into that honest with you guys. I did give it a 5-star rating for the storyline. I liked the story a lot. It has intrigue set in a mystic world with angsty and complicated romance, twists and turns you obviously don't see coming, characters you get invested in and root for. This book is not just about romance. There's smuggling, hidden magic, political tension, a secret underworld, pulling strings behind every scene. I really liked that LJ gives you some key items to help you remember stuff. So she does give you a map of the land in every book. She also gives you a magic legend that tells you what all of the magic in the book are at, so that you can reference that if you start to get confused, like I did several times. She also gives you a great picture of the couple at the beginning of every book, so that you can kind of see the transition of the character as they go through the books, but it also helps you imagine what they look like and how they would, handle stuff as they describe stuff, what they look like in each book. And I think that's just a really cool idea. I highly recommend Knights of Masks and Knives. I'm now on book 6, and so I'm excited to finish this particular arc in this series. So I would definitely recommend you guys to go read it. They are about 7 to 8 hours long, so they will, depending on how quickly you read and how much free time you have, it may take you a little while. I also want to encourage you guys to go out and check LJ's social media accounts. You can find her on Instagram as author LJ Andrews, TikTok as LJ Andrews author, and Facebook just as LJ Andrews. Go out, you guys, give her a follow, but also check out her website, because she does keep you abreast of everything she has coming out and what she's working on next. So it'd be good for you guys to stay on that if you like her work. Also, throw in a plug for my other podcast that I do with my husband, Greg. Check out The Bar is Open with Beth and Greg. We can get obnoxious and silly, but I can always promise you guys a damn good time if you check in. So we are on Wednesdays and Fridays on YouTube. So check us out. Other than that, I hope you guys have a great rest of the week, and we will talk soon when I find my next good read. See you guys later. Bye.